to The League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
And my name is Mark.
And today we're doing our first revisit, I guess, I think is what we're calling it. There's been some new lore added to champions that we already discussed. Thanks, Riot.
Some exciting new developments.
That's a cool way to put it.
Right?
Yes, so as we've seen, Dr. Mundo got like a total rework, and they did change his bio, and almost immediately Mark was like, we need to talk about this, I hate it. So
Yeah, I don't fucking spoiler, I don't care for it. No sir, I don't like it.
And
fine.
Then Riot did something good and released a Leona short story, confirming that they are indeed lovers.
We were right about this one.
Yes.
Which means we're probably right about Graves TF.
I mean, obviously we're right about Graves. Yeah.
We're always right. Let's get that fucking clear.
Just as a moving rule moving forward too. We're always right.
Oh, Jesus. No, please don't put that on me. I'm not always right. They can say whatever they want. I did debate waiting until Leona to get there because, like, I don't think we're going to have much to discuss with Leona outside of Diana anyway, but there are like 35k champions, and it's just going to be a million years before we even get to the letter L. So we're just going to talk about it now.
Yeah, I think it's fine. You know, I think, like you said, this is probably the best thing we're going to get for Leona lore.
Yeah.
I don't know what her lore is, but I'm pretty sure it's not good.
I almost read it just to like have some insight on Leona before reading the short story, but I feel like I got probably more about her personality in that than I'm going to get from like her bio and stuff. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but who knows? She's got kind of old lore. There's also a short video featuring Ekko that we can talk about, and John dug up a bunch of other stuff, it sounds like.
Oh, I wouldn't necessarily say I dug it up, but with the lore rework for Mundo, there's a bunch of skins that didn't necessarily have lore blurbs before, so we have a bunch of new AU blurbs now, and Diana's also part of a few AUs that are a bit new as well, so
Yes.
hippity hop into there.
Oh.
I'd like to take that again.
No, that's it.
Always right,
hippity
folks.
I saw the regret in your eyes as you were saying it. It was great. That's why John plays the bunny Teemo skin.
That's the reason.
Dude, I was playing the new game mode the other day, and there was a fucking Teemo with that skin, and they took the Cho'Gath ult and bought Frostfire Gauntlet, and at one point I turned around and a giant Teemo rabbit hopped out of the fucking jungle, and it was the funniest shit. I didn't even care that he killed me in 2 seconds because I was cracking up. It was so good.
He's living
That's
the
fucking great.
dream.
Oh my god, that was that was scarier than anything in Fiddlesticks lore. All right, so we could start with Mundo because I think that's a big change. So who wants to sum up Mundo's bio? I have written basically nothing for this episode. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all good. I can do it because I don't like it. So, you know, it's fine.
I can do it because I'm mad.
I'm mad. It's fine. Okay. So this is actually, I guess, bright spot of really new lore is that it has an actual author credit on the bio, John O'Brien, on the wiki, not on the universe. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the new Mundo lore is that Mundo was an enforcer for a Kim Baron in Zaun, and he's kind of a dope, but a kind of good-natured dope for somebody who does that kind of work. And he ended up kind of stepping on his boss's toes, and to make an example of him, the Kim Baron sent him to Oswell Asylum, which was well known for its inhumane treatment and, you know, experimental procedures. And Mundo just kind of undergoes months of torturous experiments and treatments. He loses the memory of his past life and kind of becomes Mundo as we know him, and the Baron eventually shows up. It says to discharge him. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. It's just he shows up, finds that the place is full of corpses and Mundo, and then Mundo operates on him. And that's the bio in summary.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't really care for it.
I feel like you've had this building up inside of you since you read it.
I mean, okay, I think we can talk about what it is that maybe works or doesn't. I think that this reeks a lot of an attempt to get rid of mysterious pasts from champions, because that was Mundo's old thing, right? Is we don't know where he came from. Now we know, but it doesn't really serve anything. And I think my biggest complaint is that it has like removed a lot of the fun that was in the bio.
Yeah.
A lot of Mundo being tortured in the old bio was played very much for laughs because he was never torture to him. He was never really in pain, and he loves it, and he just is kind of confounding all these evil doctors. I thought that was a lot of fun. And this one, he's like an actual dude who got tortured into being insane in Mundo, and there's not any fun in it. It's just dark, and it's yeah. That's my biggest complaint, I'll say.
Yeah, there's a bunch of elements of the story like that too, where like now that they've kept the goofiness of his quotes and the goofiness of his side story, it doesn't. There's just a tonal mismatch between that and several aspects of this story now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I remember saying with the original bio, it felt very much like an appetizer to Do No Harm, where they were very. I assume they were written by the same person. I don't think we ever found out, but they felt very like 1-to-1 in terms of it makes perfect sense to go from that bio to that short story. And this, it's just it feels tonal whiplash is almost the way I would describe it.
Yeah, everything about Mundo is very darkly comedic, but the bio isn't playing with that, because I think you could give Mundo this messed up of a backstory and have it match the rest of it, but it didn't. Mostly I just felt like I was left with a lot more questions than answers, which is funny because they were trying to give us answers about where Mundo came from, but I'm like, what did Mundo do to his boss that made his boss do this? What the fuck is this asylum? Do people know about it? Does the boss have like a friend there? Does he have some kind of pull? I was just very confused. How long was Mundo there? I feel like to torture someone to the point where they lost their memories, that would have to be a very long time. Right. And it didn't sound like a very long time. I would have believed it more if they gave him something that erased his memories, rather than like he was tortured to the point of losing his mind. There's just a lot not great about that, but it just didn't. I don't know. I didn't understand. I feel like if you want to explain what Mundo is and where he came from, there's a much better way, and it wasn't this.
Yeah. And to your point too, Mark, like, his boss came to check him out.
Yeah.
What was he expecting to find when he got there? Mm-hmm. Like, what?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of... It puts forward this idea that he's making an example of Mundo, that Mundo did something to step on his toes. I don't know what that is. I assume he's just he's affable, but like I said, he's a dope, and maybe you just offended him, and that was the last straw. And maybe he wants to come collect him to show him off, like, hey, if you slap me on the back one too many times, make me spill my drink, this is what happens to you, I guess. But yeah, a lot of questions, and it still doesn't really answer the question of how Mundo became Mundo, insofar as like, how did he get, like, yes, he was tortured and experimented on, but how did he become so like have these regenerative powers? It's still a big mystery, right? Mm-hmm. So we're still it's just kicking the can down the road almost in a way. I don't know. Yeah,
so it's like they ran experiments on him. He's still purple. He still has a giant tongue. He still talks like Mundo, and like you said, he heals. So did the people at the asylum do this to everyone there? Were they asked to give special treatment to Mundo? What happened to the other people in the asylum? Did they get tortured and turned into Mundos? I don't understand. I don't get it.
A million Mundos just running around.
Bunch of Mundos? Or was it one? If you want to like make one Mundo, you need to be more specific. It sounds like this is some kind of like Batman supervillain bullshit. That's fine. He fell into a vat of potion. I don't know, but like give me a reason. Don't just be like, they hurt him, they tortured him, and now he's purple and he heals real fast. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It has a little bit of fun in like the last paragraph.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was going to say. I wrote down that last paragraph too, because it was like the only bit that was reminiscent of good lore.
Mm-hmm. It's just strange. It's just strange. Like I said, it's got that stink about it where they're like, look, we got to get rid of these dark and mysterious pasts. We're touching Mundo, so let's give him...
You know what? I agree, but Mundo wasn't the one. That was funny. Yeah. Like, Mundo was the one we were like, this is fine. He's got a dark, mysterious past, and it's fine. And that's the one they freaking messed with. Right.
Yeah. It's a damn fucking shame. Look how they massacred my fucking boy here.
Oh, God. My boy. My beautiful purple boy.
I like the bunch of Mundos idea, the Million Mundo March. Just all of them running around.
They accidentally made a bunch more Mundos, but we just don't know about them yet. I don't know.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Next lore event.
No, I can't even deal with one Mundo on the fucking enemy team. Don't give me more.
I want the Mundoing.
The Mundo. Oh man,
Imagine
I would love that.
5v5 Mundo, all Mundos versus all Mundos. There would never
man.
be anyone would ever die, like ever.
Oh, that'd be so fucking good. Oh man, like Draven but done Mundo style. Oh
Oh my
man,
god,
you're
definitely.
selling me on this idea.
It would be called Definitely Mundo.
Definitely. Oh man, we're so fucking good at this. Goddamn.
Hire us.
Now, in addition to the new bio, there was also it's kind of posted as like a new short story a bit, but really it was just kind of a series of tweets leading up to or like right after the Mundo rework. That's kind of Mundo's medical journal.
I didn't read this. I didn't realize that this was here. I'm sorry.
It's
I
fine.
would say this was. I would say it was mostly bad with some good bits. There were some aspects of
Yes.
this. There were more aspects of this that I liked than the bio.
Well, it was Mundo's point of view, right? Which is generally
Yeah.
pretty fun.
It should be, right? It should be fun.
No! Oh no! What parts aren't fun? Now I need to know.
All right. I mean, okay. I guess I'll just do this one too because I also didn't like this one.
Oh,
It's
nice.
kind of an in-between spot between Do No Harm, which is really good, and the bio, which I didn't like. This one's also by John O'Brien. I'm not trying to rail on the guy. So I guess that is a question. So it's presented, as like a series of entries into Mundo's medical journal as he's written them. Do you know, John, was it like, so each entry was probably like an individual tweet then, I
Correct,
bet?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, and the actuals are like single sentence summary, Mundo gets a new patient and operates on them. And that's about it, right? And it's just the entries from getting that patient to following the procedure, right? Is that about right?
Yeah. And the patient, for the record, is essentially working for a chem baron who's going into Mundo's, his hospital, and he's like, oh, I'm going to turn this into a chem factory. And then Mundo's like, you sound crazy. Time to operate.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely so a big thing about this is the way that it's written. Like everything is
Yes.
misspelled. Everything is spelled in kind of quasi phonetics or just absolutely misspelled, extra syllables added in, and it's all written from Mundo's perspective, which could work. I think if you're doing Mundo's voice, Mundo's got like a really distinct voice, right? Which is one of his biggest strengths, and this to me just missed that voice. Like when I read it. The writing to me doesn't read Mundo like.
It sounds more toddler than Mundo.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's like, it makes him seem like, if possible, too dumb is the way I would almost describe it. Like, okay, so here's an example where he's like, the first entry is like, no patients today, but that's okay. Every business has downs. I am fine with it. I feel like Mundo would write that as like, Mundo not find patients. This okay. All business has slow period. Mundo am fine with it, right? Like, there's these
Yeah, it's
little...
more like a caveman Mundo.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just these little... There's like a finesse to Mundo, which is shocking, right? That I feel
No,
like this
you're right.
misses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird, too, because I feel like there's a few of them that hit it pretty good, and then the other ones don't. Like, if I didn't know that they came from all the one guy, I would have actually assumed that people had taken turns writing these tweets.
Maybe they did.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I don't know. It's just it's really hard to discuss without like examples, right? And another one that I found is another early one where Mundo's like, I went outside and yelled at people, and I feel like Mundo
never
would
says
say,
I.
Mundo offered services at nearby market. Patients not cooperative. Mundo believes house call is necessary. Something like that, where he's,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird that it was in first person. Is his new
So
voiceover
it's-
in first person?
You mean as
As,
I with...
like-
Yeah.
See,
not
no,
first person.
and not even all these quotes are. So I wrote down a few that I liked.
Okay.
And it's probably just because they seem way more Mundo-ish than a lot of them did. But I really liked the little subplot he had with the cat. That was very Mundo
yeah.
to me, and I loved that. He found a cat. Well, actually, we don't know it's a cat yet. He found a cat in an alley and was like, Mundo hire a new nurse. And we don't find out until later that it's a
that's
cat.
great.
But some of the quotes were, Mundo found nurse and asked her opinion.
Me told her the electricity don't work on the patient anymore. She said me need to operate. Then her hissed and ran up fence. That's medical consensus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. You know, I don't think it's a cat. If you look at Mundo's new splash, there is actually, God, this is like Legends of Runeterra shit. There is a kind of raccoon-looking thing down by his left with a little nurse hat on. And I think, from what we get from Runeterra, they're called wumps. They're kind of like a weird raccoon species that lives in Zon. Yeah, I think that's what this is.
And raccoons do hiss. So that makes sense. And he's always around at night. So, well, I guess a cat could be around at night too. But yeah, raccoon makes sense.
That is, I guess,
oh, that's so good.
that is strengthened by the second quote I had regarding the nurse.
Me saw nurse again today. Her was eating out of trash can. Her eat old patient's hand. Mundo told her this unprofessional. Me say sorry, this not working out, but me write her good recommendation letter. Her hissed and ran up fence again. Why so hard to find good help? Me run respectable practice. Me care about patients. Is it unreasonable to expect same from employees? Mundo not think so. Someday me find nurse who cares as much as Mundo. Someday.
Yeah. It's weirdly hit or miss. Right? It's weirdly hit or miss. I don't know.
Yeah. No, these feel very weird. I kind of curious about the responses to them when they were tweets and if people were liking them
I remember them.
or not.
And no, they didn't.
They didn't like them? Yeah.
I remember a lot of hate on these.
I
Really?
can kind of
At
see
least in the
why.
top comments.
Okay. Well, those were the ones that probably got the most likes or had the most comments on them.
So now I got to go look so I can feel vindicated. Feel like, yes.
I'm now looking at Mundo's other splashes to try to find the raccoon.
Ooh, does it show? Does it show up
in
elsewhere?
The oh god, what is this? Oh god. Okay, what's this splash, honey? What's this skin?
Mr. Mundoverse.
Oh, Mr. Mundoverse. Yeah, the raccoon's in the bottom left, like in the foreground. Also, I was looking at Corporate Mundo splash, and I couldn't see the raccoon, but there is a framed photo of the old Corporate Mundo.
Yeah, I've seen that. That splash is great.
I didn't see that. Yeah, I really like that splash.
So another thing that I did like about this journal, and again, I liked aspects of it and some seemed weirdly done, with, again, a weird mismatch from one tweet to the next. I liked the dates switching from actual dates to just incomprehensible gibberish by the end, because it starts just labeling days like 301, 302, and then he goes 30 blundred and then 304, which is weird to go back to 304. Clearly you knew how the 300 numbers were working, but then it was day 2,220172, day 0.19 in all caps, day in bunch of infinity symbols. So, like, you know, I did like that. It was done a little weird. It was a good idea though. I am curious what the date, like the countdown, started at. I wonder if it was the day he was admitted to the hospital or the day he became a doctor himself.
Oh, that's a good question.
Probably when he became a doctor, if he lost his memory of when he was admitted.
I do like the
journal,
idea of him having something lingering from before. I think that would be interesting. Like if he's been counting the days that he got to the asylum, and for some reason those numbers stuck with him, that could be interesting. But I don't know.
I will also say the last thing that I didn't necessarily like about this, and this one isn't a fault of this story, it's just the fact that this and Do No Harm are both canon now. This and Do No Harm are very, very different levels of, like, crazy. Like, they're very different degrees, and it's, I don't know, it's weird that they're both him now.
Yeah, I say keep Do No Harm and jettison this if you have to pick one, right? You know what exemplifies that is the fact that in Do No Harm, his medical pad is imaginary, and he writes
That's
on his
what I
hand
liked the best.
with his finger, right?
Yeah.
But here he's apparently keeping an actual log. I don't know. I think also talking about the day thing, I think that really exemplifies maybe some of the issues with it, where in the same vein of the way they've got this constant misspelling of words and things, are the way it's all written is like they're there's an attempt to play with it, but it's maybe sloppy, for lack of a better word, or it's a little unfocused. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that the way that you said the dates kind of bounce back and forth purely for the joke of it, maybe kind of is a good. It kind of exemplifies maybe some of the the ways that I don't like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thoughts on those two? Because I actually, in addition to the AU, I just want to say, when we did Dr. Mundo 2, I completely missed a Journal of Justice article that he was in
Ooh.
that I
really?
kind of dig.
Let's go.
So I was going to
Yeah,
hop to that before we jumped into AUs.
Yeah, go for it.
Now, this is just an interview
Oh,
that
God.
the Journal of Justice did with Mundo.
Oh, no.
So you were nearly suspended from the league for not disclosing your use of adrenaline shots. Do you regret your decision? Mundo think that's silly. Here, try. At this point in the interview, we took a few hours pause. You've been described as a bit of a hermit. How have you been able to deal with your newfound popularity?
Mundo always ladies man. Now Mundo more ladies man.
Does that mean there's a Mrs. Mundo in the future?
Mundo uses masochism for battle arena, not for marriage. Mundo joke. Mundo waiting for special someone.
It's Evelyn.
yeah.
You've amassed a cult following here in Zon. Romantic interests aside, how do you feel about your fans?
Mundo great role model for kids.
What does Mundo do when he's not cleaving people on the fields of justice?
Mundo have many interests. Mundo recently opened shop.
That's right, I hear you now own a business. How is corporate life?
Corporate businessman, one of many skins Mundo wear. Mundo also bodybuilder.
God.
So to wrap things up here, do you have a rival? A nemesis? Who's the greatest threat to Mundo Mania?
Ha ha ha. Mundo mania. Mundo using that. Lawyers will work out details. No one threat to Mundo. Mundo king of battle arena.
So no other champion is standing in your way.
Mundo think Anivia is weird. Crazy iceberg throw up frozen wall one too many times. Mundo tired of smashing face into wall.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Okay, bring back the League of Legends. I'm into it again. Fuck it.
And that's why he joined the League of Legends.
By the way, Mundo Mania. That's what that game mode is going to be called.
Oh, they planted the seed early. We didn't even know it. Riot's playing fucking 3D chess.
They weren't, but now that they listened to this, they were like, what a great fucking idea.
Now we do have some lore for Mundo AUs now that he's a part of. So we're going to start out with Rift Quest, the D&D AU.
What skin
now this
is
is
this?
Rageborn Mundo.
Oh.
There are many tales of the Rageborn menace, that he's slain dragons with a single cleave, that the mightiest wizards cannot halt his advances, that no noble knight foolish enough to try and stop him has ever come back alive. The accounts often contradict each other, but the one thing they all agree on is this: where Mundo goes, no one else pleases.
That's neat. That's a neat way to use that skin.
Yeah. And now he's in Silver Age, which is the old classic comic book AU with toxic Dr. Mundo.
Mundo not toxic. Mundo has healthy emotional coping mechanisms. Oh, you mean purple goo? Oh yeah, Mundo is sure that's fine too.
That's cute.
As part of Harrowing, as Mundo,
Really?
which is
Oh,
him with the
okay,
Mundo
yeah.
mask on his,
Fuck
or I
yeah.
guess in the new skin, it's the paper bag with the Mundo face. Mundo could have dressed as anyone to go trick-or-treating, but this year, he went as Mundo. Every year he goes as Mundo. Mundo trick-or-treats as he pleases.
Wow. They're really into the Mundo goes where he pleases things with these AUs.
Hey, you gotta keep something about old Mundo. Got rid of everything else. He's in Omen of the Dark, set in a dark setting, where each of the champions serves the Blade Queen.
It's real creative.
Right?
This is Executioner Mundo. Executioner Mundo thinks people should not be so scared of him. Executioner Mundo puts on pants and chops up prisoners one leg at a time, just like Mundo pleases.
Oh my
God.
god.
They
This is the
put
new one.
police-
That's why they joined the League of Legends.
Well, then you're going to be happy to hear about the Snowdown Showdown.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh boy.
This is Frozen Prince.
Mundo snows where he pleases.
Is that it? Is that the fucking pun?
It would have been better, honestly.
Oh wow.
This is Frozen Prince Mundo. Once a handsome prince from an outlying region of the Winterlands, Mundo was touched by the curse of Ice King Twitch, corrupting him into a brutish thrall. He's still convinced he's the same statuesque royal as before, and as such, goes where he pleases.
Oh come on. Snows where he pleases. Change it.
You can see
Right.
the picture of like who he was in that splash.
Oh.
Is this just like Beauty and the Beast?
Honestly, he still got it in the... Even after
Honestly,
turning
yeah.
two, he's
Like
just
this
got blue
Mundo.
skin.
This Mundo's kind of fucking hot, actually.
Last one is Mr. Mundoverse, which is not a part of the day job AU. In fact, I could not find an associated AU, but it still has a lore blurb. Mundo didn't mean to become fitness influencer, but Mundo's gains speak for themselves. Mundo recommends never skipping leg day, eating lots of protein, and smashing that like and subscribe button for more Mundoverse content.
God.
I like the splash on this one so much.
There's
He's got,
gonna
like,
be
this-
there's gotta be like a YouTuber fucking
face.
AU at this point, right?
Right?
Look at his face on this one. Like it's so
Right. It was one of the
Classic Mundo duck face.
Yeah. And like Alawi, Braum, Garen, and Darius are all in the background of this one. Alawi and Braum are together, by the way. They're hanging out in the back together.
yeah.
Oh,
All the splashes are great, I will say. Or at least
Oh, yeah.
especially a lot of the retouched ones are really good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I feel like this was definitely one of those reworks where half of it worked really well and the other half didn't.
I think the game stuff is very cool. It's the lore stuff that fell really short for me. Also, I hate fucking playing against this goddamn motherfucker now.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
The game
I mean,
stuff
did you
was
like
cool.
playing against them beforehand? Like,
I
let's be
could
fair.
deal with him more before, I feel like. But now, every fucking 15 seconds, he's got a canister on his shoulder that makes everything I do.
He's got a little
worthless.
Vel'Koz on him. Not Vel'Koz, Mouse to Heart. Fuck. God damn it.
I will say, too, this has been, I think, literally the first time I feel like there's ever been a misfire with the champion music theme for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Fucking Stan Wright's music department so hard, but this one did not do it.
It didn't feel like Mundo at all. No.
Like, I could see the idea. Like, I saw what they were going for in the theme, but it didn't. I don't know whether it was a good idea or whether it just didn't come together for me, but I was not feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I kind of forgot about that. I scrubbed it from my memory because I didn't like it.
I re-listened to it
Scrubbed
again.
like Dr. Mundo.
I listened to it again today. I was thinking, like, oh, maybe we'll put the new Mundo theme at the beginning of the episode. And then I listened to it again, and I went, no.
Let's do the
I put
Diana,
the Diana
theme.
theme.
Yeah.
I was
shit
thinking
was fire.
Echo, actually, because
Oh, that was
I really
good,
love
too.
the
Those are
Echo
both
theme.
good.
All right, should we jump to Diana? What? All right, so the new Diana story is called Rise With Me. It's by Dana Lurie Shaw. Luery. I'm so sorry, Dana. I don't know how to say your name.
We're sorry if we got it wrong because this was a good one. I like
This
this
was
one a lot.
very good. Also, is
Yeah.
it not linked on Diana or Leona's page right now?
Nope.
It is
It's
only
not, right?
It's on Universe, but yeah, it's not linked to either of their
I
pages.
had to
right
Google
now.
it. I was like, Diana Leona gay story. Help me,
You
Google.
you have to go through the new content to find it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Well, Riot, please fix this because you need to link it on their GD pages. So this is told in a series of letters. A lot of it is written between Diana and Leona. Some of it is Diana and Leona's personal journals, and some of it is like their teachers. Are they called teachers in this? I don't remember. You know,
Yeah.
disciplinary actions and stuff like that. But it is a mixed media almost kind of telling of the story. which was interesting. I also didn't realize that. And that kind of made it, it looked longer than it really was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This is a really long story.
But it had a very what was it? Blanking on the what was
The
that
Notebook.
book? I was not
No, I
going to
don't
say
know.
the
I've never read
Notebook.
The Notebook.
I'm completely blank on his name, but
okay.
the Homo sapien agenda.
Oh, Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda.
Yeah, because that was written kind of in the similar way with a bunch of like
yeah.
journal entries and things like that too.
Yeah, there were a
and-
lot of emails and stuff. in
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
It made me think of that.
So we talked a little bit about how Diana is part of, what are they called again?
Lunari?
The Solari.
Solari.
The Solari, yeah, at the time that this is taking place. And Diana asks a lot of questions that get her into trouble because, she's like, why do we hate the moon? Because she likes the moon. So in this, Leona is the perfect student, except she has a little bit of trouble with debate club, is what it
Right.
seems like that class is.
I believe you mean oration.
Oration, yeah.
Where they debate each other.
Yeah, they call it oration, but it's really just debate club. So she asked Diana for help. They're mostly just communicating through letters until eventually they it's all working up to like a festival.
Yeah.
Sun
What was it
prom.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prom.
sun
The
prom.
sun
Nightless
prom.
Eve is the name of it.
Nightless Eve. And Leona does ask Diana, but oh god, this is my favorite part. Diana thinks that Leona's mocking her for some reason. Oh, because she had just gotten punished by the Solari. And she's like writing in her journal, like, I can't believe Leona did that. She embarrassed me. And then a little bit later, she's like, oh my God, she was asking me to go with her to the Nightless Eve. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Because who hasn't had that moment?
There were a lot of very relatable
Yeah.
journal entries
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And like just being like a teenager and like having a crush on someone and not knowing how to approach it. Anyway, the Nightless Eve, Diana's like, fuck this. These people suck. They're really mean to me. She goes on top of a mountain, prays to the moon very quietly and secretly. Leona meets her up there and they kiss. And that's basically the end of it.
Yeah.
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 It was
I thought
cute.
this was very sweet. It's a very sweet story. And
Yeah.
the format's really effective. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I got Mundo right out of my brain. I was like, yeah, this is nice.
God, I wish I'd done them in the different order.
Yeah, I did Mundo first. You're right, Mark. That was a good call. Yeah, it's mostly just cute. It gives you so much more insight about the relationship between Diana and Leona. Not even just the romantic aspect of it, but just the closeness of it and how they got close, which makes what happens to them all the more tragic when, Diana becomes the moon goddess or whatever the hell she is.
Yeah. That moon thing.
Yeah, the moon thing, and then she runs away.
And I
For sure.
loved all the doodles that Diana did.
Yeah,
in her
they're
diary.
in her journal. They're
She,
so cute.
She draws a lot of pictures of Leona, and they're adorable. I wrote like a few quotes from the journal
Oh,
entries
hell
that
yeah.
I felt like really personified teenage angst.
Yeah.
This first one was after Diana was punished and had to kind of stand in the sun. The sun is not a loving, life-giving mother to us all. She's hateful, burning with malice, and she aims to drive us all underground to avoid her scorching light. I don't really think that, but it doesn't feel like she loves me.
It was really good. Yeah.
And I like the Leona one where Leona makes a lot of lists. That's kind of her journaling technique.
Yeah.
And I know she had put in one of them, I don't want people to think I'm uptight. I'm fun. And then in parentheses, question mark.
Yeah. I wrote that one down
Question mark
too.
at the fun, yeah. I'm fun.
I love Leona's lists. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's such a
yeah.
great thing to like get some insight into her. That's why I was saying this is going to be the best characterization for Leona we're going to get because it's
Yeah.
like that's such a neat like detail, right? Where I don't know. I just love it because it's like it's telling us about the character, but it's showing us how Leona is and how she kind of thinks. And she's writing out like, here's all the reasons I shouldn't ask Diana, or should, I think is more what she had said actually. Like,
Yeah.
here's all the ways I could ask Diana. I'll do this or that. Well, this won't work. And then I love that like in the next letter, one of the ways that she was thinking about is like, oh, do you need help with your shield practice? Because I could help you with your shield practice if you need help with shield practice. No reason.
Honestly, had we not just read Mundo's medical journal, I would say that all champions should have some piece of lore that's just them in a journal so we could learn more about them. But now that I've seen how bad it can go.
Oh, no.
Well, you know.
Yeah, the writer did such a good job, though, with all of the voices. Like, if you put a Diana's entry in front of me and a Leona's one, I could instantly tell you if it was Diana's or Leona's without any names or anything like that. And a lot of the professors, too, the teachers, they had very clear, you know, strict teacher-y voices. I think she really nailed, like, the differences between the different teenagers and adults, and I think that's really hard to do in a story like this, so I felt like that was well done.
Yeah, for sure.
And another thing I liked about this too, so the Sunsworn priest Polymnius, I'm going to go with as that pronunciation, mentioned to Leona's parents that another girl had asked Leona to the dance and that Leona had turned her down, and she really wanted Leona to engage in things like that so that she could be more social. And I think, like, in a really religious environment like this one is being written in, it would have been very easy to make, like, the relationship between Diana and Leona the thing that they want to hide because of the type of relationship it is.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case here. No one it didn't even warrant a mention anywhere in the story at all. It was literally the only reason they had to hide anything was because fucking Diana's a heretic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
that's a really good point.
You can add a lot of drama to a relationship without including homophobia, and that's very important to take in mind in a fantasy setting. Different in a realistic setting, you don't want to ignore real life issues, but in a fantasy setting, it's just you don't gotta put it there. Your bad guys cannot be homophobic and still be villains, you know, or just conflict, because I wouldn't necessarily label them as villains just straight out. But yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it helps kind of focus it more on the actual conflict that's being kind of examined, which is all of the Solari faith and the orthodoxy of all of it, and, you know, how Diana kind of chafes against all of that. So it's, like you said, it's a great way of, like, this is what's important. So this is really the part that we're kind of focusing on here. You know, I complained a lot about the Solari-Lunari conflict, and this doesn't, like, fix all of it, but if we got more of this, I would... you know, sugar helps the medicine go down, and if we got enough of this sugar, I would be okay with it. It's like, you know, the details are still not quite there, but this helps really flesh out a lot of it in my mind, or at least some of the moment-to-moment stuff with it.
Yes, so they mention, like, these tablets that the Solari, abide by, and Diana and Leona can't look at them yet because they're not sworn in, they're too young. But we get a little bit about the tablets in the opening, right? Like, that opening kind of poem is some of what they're following. And then there's one at the end that said that tablet has been broken or lost, I think it said. And it's basically talking about how the sun and the moon are in love, and that's what they're like, you know, love is what created everything. And so the Solari are really misguided without knowing how misguided they are, because they have their sacred texts have been lost.
Yeah.
They're literally called the sacred text at one point, and I just started laughing. But
The sacred
the sacred text. It's just such a meme now. But yeah, it made me, like, desperately want to know how they interact as adults and to see them reunite after everything that had happened, because I find their story very interesting, and to see how Leona can guide the Solari into a different direction, perhaps.
Yeah. This is kind of random, but that whole, like, thing reminded me so much of The History of the World Part 1.
Oh my god, John, me too!
And, like, he's
there
like,
are 15 10 commandments.
10 commandments.
Man,
Wow.
that movie's fucking hilarious. Fuck. Oh, man.
That's an old Mel Brooks film for all you children listening. It's very funny. I don't know how it aged. I'm sorry. Comedies from that time, you never know. But
It took me a minute. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
that is the one thing I remember from that movie, actually, because I thought it was so fucking funny. But that is kind of what it is. They're just, like, they're working off of a incomplete Bible, essentially. It was like they lost like the last chunk of their book, and they're like, "Ah, we got it."
Seems like a big
the
chunk.
gist of it.
Got the
Hate
cliff
the
notes, you
moon.
know.
Yeah, darkness is evil. We got it.
I did think it was interesting that they don't ever. There's no mention of the moon throughout this entire story. Even Diana doesn't say moon at all, and it's only ever
yeah.
gets named at the very end in that last text where it says like the sun and moon or something like that. But interesting detail. I like there's one line where, because Diana is like, she's like reviewing Leona's latest oration. And it's like, oh, you did good this, work on this. And she's got this one line, you spoke of heretics as though they don't believe in the sun. What does that even mean? It's there in the sky. Are you arguing that some people don't believe it's there at all? So
Yeah, I
that's a
loved
good fucking
that.
question.
That's a good question. There's also a moment where Leona mentions at the end that she'd never seen Diana at night before and how she looked like she kind of belonged there. It was interesting that Diana, I don't know, they do notice that she never fits in there. Everyone else seems to be able to take the sun. She goes outside for 5 seconds and she's burned, which same girl, with you. But she looks different in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Little
Yeah.
foreshadowing for them, I guess.
Sure. But I, like you had said earlier, Rebecca, this makes me a lot more invested in that relationship. It makes me want to see. It makes me want to see what happened on the peak when they both aspected out and kind of, separated. And yeah, I want to see what that eventual, hopefully, reconciliation might look like. Because I would, root for them, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And luckily, I mean, that might be something that happens in the future, because I know as of the last bits of Leona lore we had, or Diana lore rather, she was kind of running away. We didn't really have a whole lot of information about where she was at the time, but we know a bunch of people were looking for her. But with this new Ruination event happening, we get a little bit of Diana lore.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's a
yeah.
sentinel,
I was wondering
right?
what was going on with this.
She is a sentinel. So Sentinel Diana, the ruination of Targon and the loss of the aspect of war devastated the Rakor tribes. But the only way to fight an aspect's power is with another aspect, and so Diana takes up her blade as a member of the Sentinels, knowing that Viego would destroy everything the moonlight touches. And so the other side of this, I'm pretty sure, Pantheon has fallen to the ruination.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I know there's a ruined Pantheon skin. This is something I don't know a lot of the details on, because it's weird with Pantheon, and that there's Pantheon, the aspect, and then there's Atreus, who was like the mortal host, who is what Pantheon kind of was in League lore canonically now after Aatrox killed him. That I don't know exactly what's going on. And then I guess to me that begs the question of what's happening with Leona, because she's an aspect, right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't she fight? I don't know.
Because
I
they
don't
didn't want a skin for Leona.
Yeah,
It's going back to
probably
last
it.
week.
I don't know. Maybe we'll end up having to come back to Diana again when the ruination stuff's all done. Maybe some developments will have happened, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Here's my theory.
Go for it.
You can't make ruined Diana, because introducing this kind of couple and then immediately having one fall to evil and then having to fight each other, I think wouldn't be great. But you also
That's
can't
a
have a
trope.
Sentinel Diana skin or a Sentinel Leona skin, because all of those skins, I feel like, take champions who have typically dark garb and put them in very white garb, and that's basically just a Leona skin already.
It's a fashion faux pas. That's the real issue.
She got microtransactioned out of this event.
She doesn't look good in those colors, She's truly a summer, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like we said last week, you don't have to have a skin to include them in the event.
True,
but
true.
Yeah. Right.
I
Didn't
guess-
want to do that, I guess.
I guess that's a good thing to point out, is that they're like 14, by the way, in this story. I don't know if we mentioned
they're
it, but
young.
they're young. Yeah. So good chunk of time between now and then.
Our last thing was Ekko. He's part of the Rise of the Underworlds. God. Not going to take it again. That was perfect. This is the Legends of Runeterra trailer.
Yeah, this one doesn't necessarily push stories forward or anything. It was just kind of like it doesn't change anything about Ekko. It just was a new cinematic that featured him and his fun character, and we like Ekko here.
We do like Ekko here.
So this cinematic basically follows Rek'Sai, Pike, and Ekko, who were some of the new champions that were part of that Legends of Runeterra release. Basically, Ekko interrupts some Zonite villains' scheming. He breaks in, steals a Hextech crystal from them, and is a badass.
Yeah, that is what happened.
Fun fact about this, as of the time of this podcast, this cinematic is not on the wiki under Ekko.
No shit. Ooh. Tisk tisk.
Oh no.
Is it on Universe though?
It is not on Universe.
No, it's not on Universe.
It is. It's on the wiki, but it's on the wiki for the Legends of Runeterra expansion. It's not associated with Ekko like all the other ones are.
That's one thing I do wonder is if Legends of Runeterra and like the League lore, are they connected? I don't know. If they add something to Legends of Runeterra, is that canon?
I think that the read I've taken on it so far is that yes, but it's generally exploring things like Cythria is a good example where it's something that for the most part is not going to be playing a lot of havoc or have a lot of weight on like any major champion lore. It's just kind of helping to flesh out some of the background stuff, like Mundo's nurse being a wump, right? Like normally we would just say, oh, it's a raccoon, but wumps are cards and they're that thing, right? So it's like, it's this, just little bits, right?
Fantasy raccoons.
Yeah.
I think the official stance is that it's not technically, just so they can have plausible deniability if they ever need to
That's so weird shit.
Diverge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think I will say when we get to Jarvan, I think there's some weirdness there, so we'll have to. That'll be an interesting thing to deduce. I know Ekko got added in Runeterra. He's got a lot of extra quotes. Not many of them add much. The only thing of note is that he does refer to Jinx by the name of Powder. I assume as like gunpowder, which lines up with that little arcane bit where they've got the high scores, and then the abbreviation for her name is POW, like POW, I think POW.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like short, yeah. So I guess that also kind of helps us put like a timeline to it all, in that he seems to have known Jinx when she was not crazy. So I don't know. Maybe he will show up in Arcane.
I hope so.
that'd be exciting.
I'd
hope
be
so,
so
too.
pumped. I don't even want to, if they release anything else about Arcane, I don't even want to watch it because I just want to wait until it shows out and
Well,
be
I'll
surprised.
watch it.
Okay, you'll
too.
watch it. Just don't spoil like who's going to be in it. Like I want to
Sure, yeah,
be
yeah.
surprised.
I will say actually super quick, because I know that we already passed him, but I forgot to. I literally pulled up all the Mundo quotes before we started recording, and then completely forgot that I had pulled up all the Mundo quotes. But I do just want to shout out that the new quotes they added, those are very good. Those are very Mundo. I love those. I have a few here. Like Mundo always say, malpractice makes malperfect.
And who did the voice again?
Armin Taylor.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, Mark.
He's got one, and I don't know whether this is intentional because the read of it is very different, but he's got let's see, which way? Nope, this is not right. Maybe that way. And the way his voice is and that quote makes me think that it may have been a reference to Warcraft 2's ogres.
You lost me.
They have a lot of quotes. There's like a two-headed ogre from Warcraft 2, and they have a lot of quotes when you click on them, like, this way, no, that way, he did it, no, he did it, as the two heads are fighting with each other.
Oh, okay.
It must be. That seems within the realm of plausibility to me.
That is super random.
Yeah.
Sorry, I fucking loved those quotes. They were like, I had all the sounds downloaded, and anything you clicked on my old computer would pull up like a Warcraft 2 sound. My parents hated it. When I say my old computer, I mean the family computer.
Okay. I think they're in the right on that one, I will say.
Yeah.
Especially because one of the quotes is just,
Oh my God, John.
I made that everything for a little while.
How old were you when you did this?
I don't know.
19.
19.
No, was it,
God, that was a joke.
No,
was it
I
2 or
was
3?
It was 2.
Okay. Because I played 3, but 2 I didn't play.
Yeah, I have like
Played no
3
Warcraft.
copies here, but you can't even like play it anymore because it runs on DOS. So it
DOS,
doesn't-
yeah.
You can't even read it on Windows anymore.
DOS.
I get
Whoa.
DOSBox, man.
DOS box.
Yeah. No, he's got good quotes. I like ones like, "Bad news, ghost person. Test results say you dead." For anyone from the Shadow Isles, I think.
Fuck.
Me should get second opinion. What you think? Me concur. Great. We agree then. Him nice
Well-
guy.
It's a medical consensus, yeah.
So
Yeah.
whoever wrote these quotes,
Good job.
very fucking good. This is
Yeah.
the Mundo. It's a Mundo of my memories.
Mundo of my memories. Someone please write that love song.
I'm on it.
Please do. I would be delighted if you wrote a love song called The Mundo of My Memories.
Oh, well, now I kind of have to.
You do. It's out in the
Fuck
world
yeah.
now.
All right, I guess that's fair. Expect it.
All right. Are we feeling good about this revisit?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't care for everything, but it was nice to,
Yeah.
it's nice to go back and look at it all. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. Well, that was our first revisit. It went okay. 7 out of 10.
Could use better Mundo, but
It could have been a better Mundo, but otherwise was pretty good. We are on Twitter at Loreheads if you want to chat with us there. We also post these on YouTube, League of Loreheads, if you want to go into those comments. Whoop whoop. And join us next week. We'll be talking about the hallowed seamstress Gwen.